Catastrophe. It's the only way to accurately describe the Mandalorian and Grogu box office for Disney. For Lucasfilm, it's a catastrophe. It's so bad that the media is struggling to spin this one. Oh, but they're trying. Claiming that it's performing better than expected when it's clearly not? Check. Claiming the box office doesn't matter because, well, it'll be a Disney Plus darling instead? Check. But in the end, it's all just noise, because audiences have loudly declared this weekend across the world Disney's version of Star Wars is dead. Hello folks, hello friends, welcome back and happy Memorial Day weekend to all of our American viewers out there. And for those of you who are not in the US of A, well, you're welcome as well. And we can't wait to get started with you on this Sunday morning, bright and early, B&E, breaking down the box office. And Disney is currently breaking down in ways that may just be staggering. All right, click the like button. Here we go. It's the story you wanted, and it's the story you'll receive. Take a look at this, folks, out of, me, WDW Pro. And I'm responding here to a post by Discussing Film. Discussing Film claimed The Mandalorian and Grogu has earned $33 million in its domestic opening day, which is, of course, Thursday and Friday combined. That's less than Solo, a Star Wars story, but slightly higher than industry projections. And I responded and said, in what world did industry projections have this losing to Solo? Because, well, they didn't. I mean, we can go back many, many months and we can find outliers, but here's box office theory. Here's what they were saying just before the weekend. This is what we went into. For the 3-day, they had it predicted at $85 million. For the full 4-day holiday weekend, they were declaring it was going to make $103.8 million. We'll round it up to 104. $104 million, which is easily ahead of Solo, a Star Wars movie. Easily ahead. And yet, the media is trying to say, oh no, it's overperforming, even if it's the worst ever. And here's the spin, folks. Get ready. We're going to undo all of this. The Hollywood Reporter, Pamela McClintock, box office, The Mandalorian and Grogu tops Friday with Star Wars franchise low, $33 million, but scores series high audience score. Da-da-da! Yay. No, the spin is real. The story is far from over regarding the ultimate fate of Jon Favreau's movie adaptation of the hit Disney Plus series, thanks to stellar word of mouth and kids. The story here that they're going to try to tell you is that this thing is going to save itself now, okay? Because it's just so darn good. With a 61% Rotten Tomatoes score, it's such a darn good movie, it's going to have legs. It says, is the Force with The Mandalorian and Grogu or against it? Judging by grosses alone, Jon Favreau's feature film adaptation of his Disney Plus series is already making headlines around the world for likely scoring the lowest box office opening of any title in the storied Star Wars franchise since Disney bought Lucasfilm in 2012. Clarification, if we apply the rule of inflation to this, it's down in the gutter. I mean, this thing is losing to Attack of the Clones. On Friday, Mando topped the domestic box office chart with a series low $33 million from 4,300 theaters around North America. That's behind the $35.4 million grossed by the ill-fated Solo, a Star Wars story, which, by the way, put the entire franchise on ice for 7 years. And of course, it says not adjusted for inflation because it gets even worse if you do. Actual tickets sold on Friday for each are in the 21 million range when taking out the 12 million earned by previews by Mando of Solo's 14.1 million in previews. Who cares? Who cares about that statistic? At the same time, it says Mandalorian and Grogu boasts an 89% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. You see, that's actually bad, and I'll explain why. It says the best of any Star Wars film since Disney took over. Now, why would that be bad? Because, I'm not here just to make stuff up. I don't do that. That's how we get that accuracy rating, right? The reason that that's bad is because how did we get the highest percentage audience score on Rotten Tomatoes? We simultaneously had the lowest performing box office first weekend ever for Star Wars, adjusted for inflation. And that means less people went to go see this by far than ever before. Okay? So who went? The diehards. How did you get an 89% audience score? Because all you got left are the Disney Star Wars diehards, and the regular Star Wars people are gone. But read along with me. It says an equally strong exit score on PostTrack, especially among kids. Disney insiders believe Mando could become the most family-driven film of any title in the iconic series, at least in the modern era. Bull hunkus. That modern era caveat is what gets you out of this. Bull hunkus. The Force Awakens, I will guarantee you, was the most family-driven film. It made $2 billion. It was everybody-driven. This is the most asinine way of defending the thing. Kids, especially boys under the age of 13, are going nuts for the film, and I'm going to agree with that part. And I told you that would be the case. I told you in the review, boys under 13, 7 to 13, are going to absolutely love this. They give it a 5 out of 5 on exit polling with Cinema Score. General audiences, however, bestowed the film with an A- Cinema Score and a stellar 4 out of 5 stars. Folks, for an A- is not great, okay? I know it sounds great, but for a Cinema Score, it's not great. An A-, and here's the other problem. If it's the diehards, if it's the Disney diehards, then the score gets inflated because we are, again, diminishing those who will go, right? And it says, reviewers aren't as enthusiastic, although critics' score on Rotten Tomatoes has risen to 64%. Yay! I guess. Yay, 64%. That's going to have legs? Seriously? Continuing along, more from Pamela McClintock and James Hibbard out of The Hollywood Reporter. The Mandalorian and Grogu won't lose money. It may not rescue Star Wars either. Oh, it's going to lose money. Oh, it's going to lose lots of money. And I'm going to show it to you. Hang tight. Here we go. Skipping right on down. Here we got. Listening to Disney insiders, their message is clear. The Mandalorian and Grogu will charm audiences and make money. No, it won't. It won't. Hey, Hollywood Reporter, talk to us instead. I promise we'll explain this to you. Actually, we'll do it right now. How's that? The latest estimate for the film's 4-day weekend global box office is $160 million to $170 million or more, slightly up over early tracking a few weeks back. Oh my gosh, can we stop this? It was supposed to make $200 million. We're down to $160, and it may drop harder. With Mandalorian expected best, the $148 million global bow of 2018 Solo: A Star Wars Story. Pause. Just pause. Listen, folks, I can't stand this anymore. The level of deception that happens here. Either that or just incompetence. I don't want to be mean to the Hollywood Reporter. Pamela, we love you. Who's the other author here? Let's go up again. The other author is James Hibbard. We want to make you a delicious cupcake sometime. We want to treat you out for a steak dinner, okay? We're not trying to be mean. But oh my gosh. And some of you out there saying, Pro, what are you talking about? Okay, let me explain. You ready? Number one, if we adjust for inflation, that $148 million that Solo: A Star Wars Story gets easily surpasses the $160 to $170. But problem number two, let's stay with the Hollywood Reporter and let's go back in time to 2018. Solo: A Star Wars Story stalls with $103 million U.S. bow, crashes overseas. By the way, that U.S. bow is bigger than anything they're hoping for Mando. But crashes overseas. Pamela McClintock writing, the same author. Go down, I've got it highlighted. The news is altogether grim overseas where Solo rolled out in every major market save Japan. So how is it that the Mando might outperform internationally Solo, which it probably won't do anyway? Because Japan was missing from the worldwide rollout in 2018, and Japan is one of the biggest markets for Star Wars. So this time, it's included in the worldwide rollout, so therefore the Mandalorian and Grogu is going to have a bigger worldwide rollout, maybe, because they're not missing Japan. In all fairness, yes, they didn't roll out in South Korea this time, but South Korea, Japan has a box office that's 2.5 times bigger than South Korea. And South Korea doesn't care one whit about Star Wars, and Japan loves it. So give me a break. They know this stuff. They just have to know it. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just too easy. Domestically, it says it could end up with $95 million to $100 million range for the 4 days, short of Solo's $103 million 4-day number over the 2018 Memorial Day frame. Can adjust for inflation, it would have made $120, $130. Solo would have made $120 or $130 if you adjust for inflation. In other words, there may be apocalyptic worst opening for a Disney Star Wars movie ever headlines come Sunday and Monday. Yes, here we are. We're doing that. But, folks, we're going to have a correction here. We are going to be preemptively corrected. Because it turns out, according to Pamela and James, that The Mandalorian and Grogu is actually the most frugal Star Wars movie ever made. And darn it, it's going to make money, according to Disney, because it's so cheap. It really stinks that we already broke this. It really stinks, doesn't it? That last week, and Valiant Renegade, all credit to him and Marvin, they already broke this. We already found out that the $165 million budget is bohunkus. We already found out it's not real. It's the number given to California that doesn't include, allegedly, the salaries of Pedro Pascal, Sigourney Weaver, Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, Kathleen Kennedy. Nobody is on there for that because the 165 is what they cited to California for their tax breaks, and those salaries aren't part of it. This film is likely easily over $200 million, and even THR is citing this as if it's real. It's not real. But nor was it cheap, it says. $165 million before a global ad campaign of at least $100 million. We've said it's probably 200 because we know the ad spend on other movies just like this, and they're 200 million plus. It says those close to Disney's decision-making confirm the Jon Favreau film needs to make $500 to $600 million globally to land in the black. Solo topped out at only $393 million globally, but Mando already has far better audience scores, with critics granting it a 64% Rotten Tomatoes score. The Mandalorian's audience score on Rotten Tomatoes is currently an upbeat 88%. Yeah, because the audience is shrinking. And all the spin that you give us, it's performing worse than Solo. So I'm sorry, I don't believe if it performs worse than Solo, why would I think that it's going to suddenly jolt up and beat Solo? I mean, it's going to very harshly struggle to get to $400 million. 360 might be tough at this point. And yet, this article goes on to tell us it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Let me go down to it. You ready? What the box office math ignores is the film's rising tide effect for the studio. I feel like I should have emailed Rachel Zegler's agent at some point and said, hey, here's a strategy for you. Your movie's going to bomb and your lead actor, your actress, your talent is going to be without a career anymore. But here's a spin you could try. It's actually creating a rising tide effect. Like you flopped out of existence, but hey, how about that rising tide effect? The Disney Plus Mandalorian series inspired north of $1 billion in merchandising sales with the Star Wars franchise in general, generating roughly $1 billion per year. Back in 2021 and 2022. Yes, it did. Before season 3 and before they fired Gina Carano and had her bunkered in her home with the paparazzi out there. Before they said, no, Grogu, you're not going to go stay with Luke. We can't do that. Kathy's going to juke us out. Before they destroyed Boba Fett and Obi-Wan. And, oh, yes, the Acolyte and Ahsoka. You're right, THR. It generated $1 billion in merchandise back 4 years ago, 5 years ago. What have you been paying attention to what happened since then? Did you see Lizzo? You know what? Just let him be. Just let him be. It says, quote, the impact it will have on Disney Plus is critically important to us, says one Disney executive, which, can I tell you what that means? Ladies and gentlemen, that means that you're getting to them as a Disney executive unnamed, a Disney executive is talking to the trades and spinning it. You think they got to do this unless it's red alert? It's red alert. Quote, not only could it ultimately end up on the service, pretty sure it's going to end up on the service. Folks, raise your hand if you think it's going to end up on Disney Plus. Everybody out there, good job, Disney executive. Not only could it ultimately end up on the service and get tens of millions of hours of watch views, it will also have an impact on Mandalorian seasons 1 through 3, they say. Oh, let's just discard the 3. Let's willow that thing. And what we're also finding is that it already is helping not only The Mandalorian, but the entire Star Wars catalog. How? How is it doing that? We've already seen the reports. Everybody's just watching the original George Lucas stuff. What are you talking about, man? Or woman? It says, of course, one would expect any new Star Wars movie, particularly the first in 7 years, to boost viewership of other Star Wars titles. The larger concern from Orbit goes like this. Even among those who like the new film, the consensus seems to be that it's merely good. Not typical Star Wars level operatic great. Franchise's last movie, 2019's The Rise of Skywalker, was pilloried by critics and fans, though still managed to squeak past the $1 billion mark globally. Yeah. Here's the deal, folks. We called this in the review. Okay? Now, I've tried to be as kind as I can be, and I think this is a very meh movie. I think boys will like it. And I said that, 7 to 13. I think that the data is bearing that out. But this is a very meh movie. I give it a 5.5. Wizard hates it. You know, he was on the panel. He hates it. And you know, but Lauren and Marv were pretty close with me on that. But I think it's a 5.5 out of 10. It's just meh. It's meh. And the problem is that Star Wars can't be meh right now. Meh isn't going to restart it. And the other problem for Star Wars right now is that fans are actively saying to Disney, unless you fix this, and by that I mean what they did to the original characters, unless you fix this, we hate this. And we're not going to support you, even if it's a decent movie. 5 years ago, 6 years ago, this movie comes out, it makes $1 billion. Today, it's going to struggle to make $400 million. It probably won't. And the reason is because fans are literally saying, we will not support you. You will listen to us. And for the legacy media, for the mainstream drive-by journalists out there, they don't understand it. And if they could understand it, they would refuse to accept it because it flies in the face of everything they've said for a decade. This is a very hard pill for them to swallow. It's very hard for Disney to accept this. But behind the scenes, what's really happening is probably just that. They're probably coming to the realization there is no way out of this. You either fix what you broke, and there's no guarantee they can do that well, but they've either got to fix that, or it's checkmate with the market. And that's it. And all the spin and all the stuff about, it's going to actually, if you look at this and, minus the 3 and add another day, it's better, than the worldwide, and therefore blah, 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 blah. It's going to be better on Disney Plus. It's going to be a great Disney Plus show for us. And why didn't you release it as a Disney Plus show? You probably could have saved a lot of money. It's the best they've got. It's the last they've got. They've got Starfighter, and it's over. Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau are over. There is nobody who can save this now except the fans, and the fans won't save it unless you give them what they want. And what they want is what they've been telling you since 2017. They didn't want their expectations subverted. They didn't want their heroes deconstructed. They didn't want their myths emasculated. And they didn't want their legends left dead and humiliated. And until you fix that, to great pain, and to the chagrin of the media and the Raylos, the few that remain, the 3, until you fix that, there is no more forward. It's over. It's done. Star Wars is not dead. People still care. But Disney's Star Wars is dead. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the video. And I'm sorry. Listen, to all the trade writers out there and the article writers, I know you don't like hearing it. I know you hate me critiquing you. I know you hate me going back and be, understanding what happened, with Japan and actually putting that out in the public. I know. Listen, but we love you. We're trying to help you. We want you to get better because the market's spoken. You don't want to be on this. This is an 80-20 issue at this point. You don't want to be on the opposite end of an 80-20. Get on the get it right train, okay? Hop on board. There's a way to fix Star Wars. It's painful, but it can happen. And maybe that's what the C-suite at Disney is accepting right now. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your turn. Send this out far and wide. Smash that like button, share this out, and subscribe. And ladies and gentlemen, until the next time, we have the honor, the privilege, and the pleasure of spending time together. Keep learning, keep growing, keep having fun, and come join us Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, live. I'll be on camera. And after that, forevermore. See you real soon, friends.
Do you know how many things I've secretly tanked?
Oh, gosh. I hope not. That would make me legally culpable. But, what are you talking about?
Sweet baby ink.
Huh?
Yep. I'm the...
Shut up.
I'm the CEO. Yeah, no, seriously, look, this is my profile picture. Everyone's just AI. It's great. I'm so excited to gaslight everyone and see what they're gonna like next because they think it's socially obligated.
Wait, so you're... No way, you're
Yep.
the CEO of Sweet Baby Inc.?
Maybe. But first, you should see the jewelry company I created.
We're gonna get sued. Oh.
It's gonna be good.